creating calculations for the first-time worker and checking first time about the work and making the payments. So basically I've got here under documents and payments, all the people I'm charge of checking the results and making the payments. So I make a copy of this, wrote here the name of the person, ID from the database, ID, and from the time tracker accounts, from here I see that it's a team 13. So I'm taking reports, timesheet, taking user report, user, team 13, go. I put the date back to September because I know that it was later than this date, so I'm including the first date. And I'm putting always the yesterday's date here. Today is 22, so I put 21 because maybe the person haven't finished working yet today, so we're gonna pay his yesterday's work. Today's work will be paid next time. So next time we're gonna put here 22. So what we see from here, we scroll and see that October 13th is the first day person have been working. So 13th of October and until today. And now the time worked total 75.38. We have here a formula to calculate it into the decimal. So we get 75.6 hours. Now work days, we count how many work days, because some people don't work the amount of hours they promise to work per working day, so they must be told that, so they will work better next time. So that's why we calculate how many hours per day average the person have been working. So calculating the working days, you just take the 30th of January and count Monday to Friday how many days it is. It's 38. I took out the calendar and calculated 38. Then this particular person lives in Macedonia, so I'm gonna check Macedonia public holidays 2019 and check if there's any holidays, because if there are one or more holidays between these dates, then we must deduct those days. Also, if the person has been telling that is sick, but in that case, of course, the doctor's paper is needed for full-time people. And also, if there's a deadline and the part-time person, we always require doctor's paper if there's a sick leave days. So we can see that there was only one public holiday, but it was on Sunday, so it doesn't matter. Sundays are anyway not calculated as a working days. There doesn't matter actually what days the person have been working, because we have the flexibility more or less in terms of working days and also in terms of hours. So the formula calculates how many hours per day. It's 2. The person was supposed to work 8, so it's like a terrible must be spoken. Then this is the monthly salary, and here the formula calculates out how much salary is it for 75 hours and 38 minutes. The payments are made out of euro or pound, so without currency conversion fee. First we calculate how much it is in different currencies. It's a Google formula, USD to euro, and then you just automatically, this one updates if the currency changes. So we know, and the transaction fee, this you find out depending on the country and depending on the method. So I must check the method, and then it's by default 0, but if too many countries there's a fee. This will be in a separate video. And then what else you must be checking is the activity and screenshots. So it's today's date here by default and your name, so you change it first to the person you're checking, and then you just start going back, and usually you see from the small screen already if it's work related or no. If it's empty, you can always click on it and open and verify that it's work related. Interesting. What you must be checking is if it's a red here. Green is good, red is bad. Like for example over here you can see it's been reading a documentation, so a little bit red, it's fine. But for example here you can be pretty sure that the person tends to just leave a desktop and go away, not stopping to tracker. If it's once or twice, it's all fine. But if it's like constant, then it's better to tell to people. Many people don't like if they are told such things. Then there's in the database special place to mark that the person is harder to explain the rules. So yeah, basically you check usually fast and over one, and if it's more than 1 month period, then it takes too long to check it all. You never check it all. You usually check it approximately half of them, and then in the first time, and if everything looks good, you never really check again. Maybe after months you check again little bit, but you're not really checking most of the people. But if the person is problematic, then of course you keep checking, checking, telling, and either the person changes and you don't need to check anymore, or doesn't change and you need to just fire and get a new one. So yeah, for example, the chats, you just check you see the URLs. You check the URL if you don't know what it's related, and ask the person by the URLs what project it is, what it was about, if you don't know that project. And if it's not work related, then of course you tell not to use. For example, here we can see super low keyboard activity from like 15 minutes. There's been just non-work related screenshots and very low keyboard activity. And under the reports you also can see by project. If you're billing a customer, then you're checking by project, and you can also check by contract. So basically you check team 13 and you check the project. And you can see the contract. Basically from here you can see that the person has been working only on one project. And sometimes people don't add the tasks, and from here you can see also the activity report to see on what different tasks the person has been working. Also an interesting place. It is not grouping, so if you want to know how much exactly, for example, for hiring and how much for getting a project, then you need to export it to XLS or CSV, and for example in Google Spreadsheet you can open it and group them and get the total. Oh, sorry, actually I have a tick here, it's a new function I didn't know. So here's a good overview of how much time is spent. So hiring, the most amount of the time, creating content, get projects, and reviewing and hiring is